The Brooklyn Nets right now are probably the hottest team in the NBA. Ever since the firing, of Steve Nash and the hiring of Jacques Vaughn, this team is 16-6, and they are 11-3 since the return of Kyrie Irving. Behind their NBA superstars, Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, this team is really, really tough to stop. They can really score the ball. They're even playing a little bit of defense. They are phenomenally built. I feel like with Ben Simmons being that third piece there, like I said, Jacques Vaughn's got this team rolling. TJ Warren and Nick Claxton, both playing big roles. TJ Warren, the reinforcements are coming, and then Nick Claxton, he's been very good for him this year. So make sure you stick around until the end of the video. Also, make sure to like button and leave me a comment down below, as it really helps us out in the YouTube algorithm. Now let's go and get started looking at how they are super hot. They started 2-6 in what was a colossal disappointment to begin the year. Then they got up to 6-9. Now they've won 12 of their last 15, including 5 in a row. This Nets team is on a different level right now, and they're finally becoming what we thought they should be at the beginning of the year under the guidance of Jacques Vaughn. It's all starting to come together, and it starts with their two MVP candidates, arguably, KD and Kyrie. Even though Kyrie hadn't played very many games because of the suspension and everything, they've still been good. KD averaging a 30-piece with 6.7 rebounds a night. I'll take that every day of the week if I'm a Brooklyn Nets fan. Dude can score it. 5.5 assists per game as well, and he's also playing defense with 1.7 blocks a night, and so that's a big takeaway, I feel like, from the season for KD. When he came to Brooklyn, he said he wanted to step the defense up, and he's done that. Oh, by the way, he's shooting at 56% from the field while averaging 30 a night. That is insanity. Kyrie, on the other hand, 25.3 points and 4.6 rebounds per game. He hasn't been bad in his own right either. You look at 25 points per game, that's pretty good. 4.6 assists as well, and 1.1 blocks, so he's playing defense. But once he came back to this lineup, he proved how valuable he was to them because of the fact that, they're 11-3 once he returned. 48% from the field, 33% from three, so not quite as good as a 30-piece on 56% shooting from the field, but I'll certainly take 25 a game on 48% shooting from the field. And the two stars, they're not shooting it that great from three yet. Imagine once they get back to their normal three-point splits. Now, they do need to unleash the beast of Cam Thomas, who has been sitting the bench for a long time now, but, 7.2 points per game in 15 minutes a night. He should be very, very upset. This is one of the best young scorers in the NBA, and when he plays 20-plus minutes, he averages 16 points a night. He proved how good he could be the other night whenever the entire Nets team was on the injury report, and, well, he dropped 33 points on 65% shooting. Let the man play. Now, another big reason that the Nets started off slowly was the fact that their shooting stars, I guess you could say, both got off to very, very slow starts. Joe Harris and Seth Curry, two of the premier shooters in the NBA, but neither of them did great to start the year. But now they're kind of rounding into form. Seth averaging about 9.3, 2.3 rebounds, 2.3 assists. Not really a guy for intangibles, more so the guy that, gets buckets. 45% from the field and 40% from three now. He's starting to come into his own again. They've also got Joe Harris, who's averaging about 8.7 points per game, 3 rebounds, and he's starting to shoot it much better as well. Both of these guys were in the low 30s from three. As a matter of fact, Seth was even hurt towards the beginning of the year, but now Joe Harris, 41% from the field, 37% from three in 26 minutes per game. And then the guy that kind of came out of nowhere to be one of the best shooters in the NBA, Yuta Watanabe, I believe is how you pronounce it. 8 points per game, 3 rebounds, and 1 assist. And for a while there at the early part of the season, he led the league in three-point percentage. 55% from the field now, 52% from three. So he has regressed a bit. But in 18 minutes a game, that's pretty dang good. I'll take that every day of the week. He's a very, very good role player for this Nets team. And then, as I mentioned earlier, the reinforcements have arrived in the form of TJ Warren. So far in 5 games played, he's averaging about 17 minutes, scoring 8 points per game and 2.4 rebounds a night. Now, this man was a bucket the last time we saw him, where he averaged 20 points per game on 54% shooting from the field and 40% from 3, including a few massive bubble performances down in Orlando. And some role guys here for this Nets team. They got like Ben Simmons, who we didn't really expect to be a role guy coming into the year. Also Royce O'Neal and Nick Claxton. We'll start off with Ben, who's averaging 9.3 points, 5.7 assists, and 6.7 rebounds per game. Doing a little bit of everything, like what he was brought here to do. Not have the pressure on him anymore. 27 minutes per game, 61% from the field, and 1.3 steals. He doesn't have to do it all himself. He can pass it up to 2 of the greatest scorers to ever do it. Royce O'Neal, who averages 9.3 points, 4.7 assists, and 5.7 rebounds, is another one of those perfect glue guys, perfect role guys that we talk about when you mention NBA championship caliber teams. He's shooting at only 38% from the field, but 41% from 3, which is pretty dang good. And that is in limited minutes as well. And then Nick Claxton, who used to lead the NBA in field goal percentage, averaging 11.7 points, 8.7 rebounds, and a couple of blocks a game. That's really what he was brought here to develop into, was that starting caliber center, and he's finally starting to hit that role, shooting at 73% from the field in about 28 minutes per game. Now, they could have some trouble in the future. With KD being 34 and Kyrie being 30, they're not exactly going to be here forever. And some of their future picks have been traded away, which is what we're going to look at. In 2024, their pick goes to Houston. In 2025, Houston holds the rights to a pick swap. In 2026, their pick goes to Houston. And then in 2027, Houston holds the rights to yet another pick swap. And that was all for James Harden, who's no longer on the team. That is a bit of an unfortunate scenario there, where they lose all those picks and those rights to pick swaps for a guy that played like a season and a half. Now, they will get first-round picks in 2025 and 7 no matter what, but losing those picks in 2024 and 2026, I feel like could really hurt down the road, especially with Houston building a phenomenal core down there. Now, looking at the outlook for the Nets team, Boston right now is in sole first place in the East. Milwaukee trailing by a couple games, and then it's Cleveland and Brooklyn, who is a game out of third place in the East. That's kind of crazy, because this is a team, like I said, that started 6-9. I mean, they were really having us question if the age of the super team with, the old guard of KD, LeBron, guys like that, with teams like that, like the Clippers, Lakers, Nets, if those were going out of style. But hey, the Nets have showed us that they are here to stay. Looking at their upcoming schedule, they've got Detroit. They're at Detroit, but that's still, they definitely should win that game. Then they go to Golden State without Curry, and that is a home game. Then Milwaukee visits, so that's another winnable game if they want to be top dogs in the East. And then they go to Cleveland, to Atlanta, and to Charlotte. So Atlanta and Charlotte should be wins. Not sure about that Cleveland game, though. Then they got San Antonio, Chicago. So definitely some easy games. It's, a little bit of a back-and-forth type schedule. Some hard games, some easy games. But they got Kyrie and KD. I think they should be just fine no matter what. With that being said, that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like button and leave me a comment down below about the Nets. It'll really help us out in the YouTube algorithm. If you want to see more NBA content, make sure to come back later, as we will be posting every day. And with all that being said, thanks so much for watching today's video.